Hey everybody, it's Bust with Bust Builds Decks number 23, continuing our playthrough of Balatro. And so 23, just like LeBron James, more so LeBron James than Michael Jordan, right? We gotta fight our way to the top, be the best in the world, and wanna finally finish off this orange stake of the yellow deck. After this one, I don't know, maybe we'll move on to something else, try and fight it off with a different deck or something, but I feel like we've gotten so close over the course of the past few videos that the positive outcome is imminent. And so let's do battle. Yellow deck, orange stake. Push that play button. See what turns up. And so, reasonable start. I don't care about this first tag. We'll do battle. We don't want to reroll the boss blind. Discard 2 random cards isn't that big of a deal. Very happy to have foil tag turn up early, though. This is one of the very powerful tags that can help carry you through the early game. Definitely going to plan on skipping that within the next round. All right, just kicking off with 4 of a kind 6s. It's just, you see the flames pop up before you even play the hand. That's a interesting little feature there. All right, well, get us out of that round easy. A sign of things to come, I'm sure. All right, so what do we got here? The exact opposite of cards wanting to work together, right? The first played face card gives X2 mult or ride the bus +1 mult for consecutive hands without a face card. So you have the face card build around, the not face card build around, and I do like ride the bus, especially here on the very first round of the game. Just gives us a very easy thing to build towards, right? We know we want to just not play face cards, and I really like having that big scaling thing turn up right on the first pick. So we're going to circle back and take it. I will use the Arcana pack as well. See if we spike a Hermit or something in here before things really get going. And the Hermit turns up. Nice. Very, very high rolly start that we've kicked things off with here today. So we'll pick the what is that? Ride the bus. Now, I'm also interested in the telescope. This is one of the packs to where Celestial packs always contain the planet card for your most played poker hand. It works fantastically if you're trying to build towards a specific hand like high cards or pairs or something. Just whenever you open a Celestial pack, you know it's not going to suck, right? And so I'm not opposed to taking it. We've already gotten a pretty good monetary start here in the early game between the yellow deck and the Hermit turning up, and so very good start here, right off to the races from the get-go. So off to the hook. And so again, we're not going to want to play face cards. We don't have to immediately discard them. We can still play them. We do have to come up with viable hands here in the early game, but I think it's probably worthy of a discard. And then if we're going to take those out, do we want to build towards this 3 flush with the hearts? It's not a super strong one. It would be like a 250 chip flush, but it's something. Seems bad. It at least gives us a little bit of direction for where our hand is going. Okay, I see the pair of 5s in here. I thought we might have hit a full house in there, but not the case. Nice flush turning up. So these won't work towards the Celestial thing just yet. Not quite ready to come out here and just start throwing down bad high card hands, right? We have to actually win the round at some point. I'm not going to try and get out of this with just very weak hands. So do we want to discard these the 10 and the 7 as well and just push for the 2 pair with the aces and 5s? Seems like a reasonable discard. All right, so we hit the full house. Now, I feel okay with this, right? The full house is going to score, what is this, like 15, 35, 37? So, like, if we just call it 35 times 4, that would be like 140. We should be good to, I just want to start playing high cards out of this, right? Or do we want to play pairs? It's a very interesting thing. I typically prefer to build towards pairs as opposed to high cards. Just a little bit of personal preference. And so let's drop these 2 6s real quick, and then we'll circle back and play. Oh no, we're on the discard round. Fuck me. I was expecting something like that to happen. It didn't take long. At least we didn't completely destroy our hand here. We still have this 2 pair with the aces and the 5s. Hopefully, we'll piece together enough points here to still get out of this round. But I was definitely I was definitely counting on that full house. Okay, we got out of here. We could have probably gotten another hand in, but that would have been a little scary with discarding the cards that were relevant. Okay, though, but getting a nice little upgrade to ride the bus, +3 malt at the beginning. And here, ooh, I do like Raised Fist as well. Now, Raised Fist doesn't play well in these kind of high card... Well, I should say it doesn't play well in these ride the bus style of decks, right? You really want to... It plays well in high card, where you want to, say, play an ace and then play 4 small cards. So say you play, like, ace 6 4 3 2 or something, right? A big ace with a bunch of small cards. You get those small cards out of your hand, so the Raised Fist hits for 10. Then the 10 doubles to 20 malt, but we're not going to be able to do that with Ride the Bus. Now, it's not to say we can't just get rid of Ride the Bus at some point, but it's not going to be, they're not ultimately going to be optimal together. And then we have our friend Odd Todd turning up, which does work fantastically with Ride the Bus. I think I'm on board with both of these. So let's see. Strong stuff with the Observatory as well. Basically turns a planet card into a steel card if it's hanging out in your consumable space. There's a lot of stuff that we're really interested in here. I think I'm just going to kind of go for all of it. Let's crack one of these Arcana packs. See if we can't hit the Hermit again. Just the pure and complete high roll for the day. didn't quite turn up, but I'm happy to... I think we want to just use the Steel card. If we're going to take the Odd Todd, I'm leaning towards just loading up the 3. It's something that we might end up playing. It's something that we'll discard towards, but probably not want to play. And then we'll just want to look to play like aces, 9s, and 7s as the cards that we're physically putting down on the board. Okay. But yeah, I'm on board with this. Take the Odd Todd. Can't get rid of him, so hopefully he does some good work for us today. Nice little thing to build around. So what do we got here? Shop for an uncommon joker. $5 for each skip this round. I'm fine to play through the uncommon and then pick up 15 gold on the speed tag. And then the last one, all face cards are drawn face down. We're not playing face cards anyways, so fairly easy skip there. All right, let's see if we can't get some of these more appealing hands together. All the high cards turning up. Get all these evens and shit out of here. Just literally nothing that our deck wants to score is turning up. But see, this is where the Raised Fist doesn't work itself out nicely, why we might want to consider just getting rid of Ride the Bus. The thing I was trying to explain in the previous hand is, say we play a hand like this, right? We get the Queen High as our high card and then just put the 7-6-3-2 down along with it. The Raised Fist is going to score for 7, but if we're going to be playing towards the Odd Todd, then doing something like the pair of 7s, you can play hands like this, I guess, to where the 9 is going to be the big point. But if we're playing towards high cards, like high card 9, then this is the best we could do to where we get the 7. And so it's a little bit more challenging to pull off. Still exceptionally good, especially with the foil chips on it, but just something to kind of watch for there. So I'm just curious to see how much this actually scores. A single scoring 9, getting the chips from Odd Todd, the malt from Ride the Bus, and then the malt from Raised Fist. I do want to start leveling up the Ride the Bus and leveling up our high card for... oh, that was a very easy score. The high card for our Celestial thing. So this 7's going to get us out of the round. Ooh, well, we should probably look to be playing pairs, right? That is one of the things with Odd Todd is you want a bunch of scoring hands. This is starting to just feel like more and more of a mistake that we took. I initially liked how he was going to be a potential build around, and I'm liking it less and less at this point. But here we'll take the Chariot, let us make a Steel card. Kind of hurting for the money at that round, but this skip will get us up to... oh, plus 10. I thought we were going to get 15 out of it. then onto the mark. Okay. But yeah, no worries on getting ourselves through this round, right? That last one was pretty easy. I don't think we're going to struggle here either. We got like 1,000 chips for playing a high card, and so shouldn't be too bad. So yeah, I think I am going to make the swap and then just start playing towards pairs. We got to get a little bit more scoring out of this odd Todd. Like, I'm happy to get 60 out of it. 30 just isn't enough, and so we'll play towards pairs. Ugh. That was another one I was just not expecting to just slam through. I'm wanting to get more malt out of Ride the Bus, but we're at least crashing through this game pretty well. What do we got here? Every card played counts in scoring. Now that's an interesting one, right? It does open us up to getting more scores out of the odd Todd. So if we have like that hand from 3 hands ago, to where we played like 7, 6, 5, 4, 2 or something, to where it was a high card 7, getting all of the extra small cards in there would be kind of nice. I think I'm interested in this. I usually don't like splash, but I like the synergies we get there between that and the odd Todd. Now it's just going to be a matter of, we need to find an X malt card, but I'm happy with the space that we're in at this point. Typically, Green Joker is quite good. It does very similar things to Ride the Bus, and it works very well with the high card strategies, but I think we're pretty well set in terms of flat malt, so we'll skip over that one. Now, definitely interested in Negative Joker. Rerolling the boss blind isn't too bad here, right? The Eye is a legitimately challenging boss at times. No repeat hands throughout this throughout the encounter, but I think it's going to be easy, right? We just smashed the last boss with one playing of a pair. I don't think we should struggle to beat it with like a 2-pair, pair, and a high card to get through, and so no worries, I tell you, no worries. And we have the steel tarot card in hand as well if we need to fight through that. All right, let's see. Kind of interested in just dropping this flush. This hand, like this is just going to score for infinite points, right? Like this is just immediately going to win the round. I want to play something a little bit worse than that, I think. What happens if we do this? High card 8 with a scoring 5 within. What a load of tomfoolery we're finding ourselves in, just trying to find the most obnoxiously bad hands we can to still fight through this thing. Alright, I think that turned out kind of reasonable. Let's get back to dropping in a pair. The pair of 9s should be okay. I'm alright with this additional little bit of scoring in here. Then we can look at the pair of 3s after this if the round is still continuing on. Okay. The pair of 3s will probably end this off. It shouldn't be too challenging to hit 1,200 chips on this one. Oh, it didn't? Okay. We'll definitely get there with the pair of aces. Alright, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, we just need that scaling multiplier, and we should be good to go, I hope. Not really wanting to count on the steel cards to be all that we have. What do we got here with the Negative Joker? Oh, speaking of the scaling, each king gives the 1.5x mult while in hand. That's beautiful. That's exactly what we're looking for. Maybe we should have opened this Arcana pack first, because we're going to open it anyways. I would have been fine to hit the Hermit out of this thing. He did turn up, but he's not quite worth the money now. What else is in this hand? Lucky card. Convert left to right is fine. Hearts and gold card we don't want. All right. The money's probably not enough here. So let's at least turn the 4 into an ace so that we can maintain the 3s. The 3s are still quite good with the odd Todd and the guaranteed scoring. Could have made something steel. I guess we could have turned the ace into a steel card and copied that. We'll get a little bit more effective use of the copy, but It is nice sometimes to just hang on to that steel card so that it can be played in the middle of an active hand. All right, so we definitely don't want to be playing these kings. Get that out of the space to where it looks like we might want to discard it. I'm leaning towards just dropping a high card kind of hand here. Like we can drop high card ace, or we could drop the I'm not certain here how we'd want to do it. The high card ace or the high card that doesn't include the 7 and the 5, because the 7 and the 5 are going to score on this. But I'd also kind of rather be playing pairs, but I'd say realistically, playing the pair isn't that big of a deal. We haven't dropped any Celestials at this point. Like, if we open 2 Celestial packs throughout the course of the game, I'll be surprised. And so, I don't think there's a ton of reason to go ham in that sense. Did we reset our Ride the Bus? What did I miss that had that reset? Does the king count as a scoring face card in that? He must. I don't know. I don't know where we missed it. All right. Well, we'll just sell that thing. Whatever. Oh, no repeat hand types though. Well, that's awkward. That's awkward. I guess we need to dig up a pair. There's one. So we'll hang on to all of these other cards. If we need to put together like a 2-pair or a 3 of a kind, then we still at least have access to it here. Yeah, did that count as a scoring king? I mean, this is the first round that we've had the Baron. So I don't know. I don't know what we did there. Something fucky. Am I right? I'm right. Something fucky happened there. All right, this 2-pair will get us out of the hand though. Yeah, we'll get rid of Ride the Bus. It's a touch unfortunate, you know, since it doesn't work with Odd Todd. I'm still happy enough having Odd Todd here, right? He just gave us a fuckload of chips throughout the course of this hand. We can still build towards it, but we just need a replacement for Ride the Bus. And it does at least bring us back to getting a little bit better usage out of Raised Fist, and so we'll figure it out. All right, but the family don't want, we're not hitting 4 of a kinds. Ramen we could actually make usage of here. This is the style of deck to where we don't really have to discard anything. The problem with Ramen at this point is we don't have a lot of flat malt once we get rid of Ride the Bus, right? We can maybe get the +10 out of Raised Fist, but the Ramen's not going to be spectacular. I think it's going to be better than Ride the Bus, though. We can come back to play high cards, but we would still prefer to be activating Odd Todd. All right, then we'll skip those Buffoon packs. We need a little bit of money. So here, I think we'll be playing through this whole round. There's a double tag, which I'm fine to skip. Rerolls I don't care about. And then the boss is cards drawn face down after each hand played. We can fight through that pretty easily with the high card strategy. So I think this should be another fairly easy round to fight through. Do it like this, the pair of 6s. Right, this is where the fist starts to shine. We score all of these dum-dums, but then it gets the 14 malt. Not bad. We didn't have any kings in here, so it's not a big score. This is where it does kind of suck, though. I don't want to take the discard. I'd prefer to keep our ramen as strong as possible. It's definitely not a sentence I expected to be saying today. I gotta have my strong ramens out here. I do love me a ramen noodle. Shit's good. Oh shit, we still have an extra joker slot. I didn't even realize that. I just saw that we had 5 jokers, and I forgot that our Baron was negative. Good to notice. Good to notice. All right, well, we can see what this 2-pair gets us and move on. Should be a pretty big score. Okay, cruising. Good to know. Good to know. I usually put like the Baron or the negative jokers out to the left because it's kind of the space to where I'm like, yeah, I'm never going to sell that. I can put it out here and forget about it. But It's definitely relevant in this space. What do we want here? I will take the two-pair planet. Feels like a good deal when it's cheap. As you move up the antes and the packs get more expensive, it gets a little bit tougher to justify purchasing Celestial packs, but the cheap price there is fine. I think I'll wait on a Buffoon pack. Just ramp up a little bit more money here. Alright, so what do we got? High card 7. Fairly easy start this way. The Raised Fists and no discards makes playing the hands pretty straightforward. We're going to just do whatever we can to hit 20 flat malt on the Joker every time. Alright, 7k hit there. Going to easily get out of this round. Another high card 7, but this one has 3 odds in it. Alright, one more to go. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, like, I didn't really want the odd Todd, especially how our hand has kind of broken itself out. But I don't think we've seen any like flat chip cards along the way, so it feels like he's been, you know, extremely valuable up to this point. Like the splash plush odd Todd combo. But here, let's open the Arcana pack. Curious to see what turns up. The Hermit gets us right back up to 18 where we were. It's so wild how bad this card is once you start to move up in the ranks. Like when we were playing in the lower stakes, this is just like an auto take at every point, but now it just brings you back up to break even, and so kind of a painful place to be in if you're not opening this when you already have like 30 gold. Having this midpoint of gold is pretty painful for it. But nonetheless, I'm interested in the Hanged Man, I believe. There is Empress to put the malt onto the cards, which is kind of strong with the hands always score, right? So if we want to put it on, say, the 7 and the 9, it still lets us play like a jack high and score these smaller cards. So I'm not completely opposed to it, but I think I would be a little bit more interested in just getting these smaller even cards out of our deck. But I mean, it's just like a 10. So that's not super appealing either. Kind of a bummer of a hand. All right, let's load up the 9 and the 7. At least hit 2 of our active cards here. Uh-oh. Thought I was gonna have some kitty dramatics back behind us. It's gonna be embarrassing once I get this filter off and I don't know if I can actually get this giant kitty tree. It's like a 7.5 foot tall kitty tree. It won't really fit in the basement, but the Pepper and Bernard were being a little bit of jackasses back there. It's wild. Like there's this little like couch isn't the right word, hammock. There's like kind of like a little hammock thing up there. I assume that the cats would never use it, and Pepper absolutely loves that thing. She got in that hammock and never gets out. She's like hanging out behind me like literally hours every single day in the little hammock. So the place you run into problems is she does not like her son Bernard. He's the all black cat that shows up on occasion, and he likes to lay on like the very, very top part of it, and so he's the, like, if I can make my finger work right, he's the dark speck right here, and he has to jump past her to get up there, and she does not like it when that happens, and so you get some kitty dramatics on occasion, you know. But all right, reasonable enough start here, I guess. We'll just play the pair of 5s. Hang on to the big high scoring cards. We could have added a 10 in here if we wanted, but I kind of envision us maybe needing to play a kind of a blind pair here. Interesting though. Can do like 10-10, small card, smart card. We can see the aces, and then the 2 cards to the left of the 10, we'll find out if they're kings as these hands play through. One king. So this one is still the king. So we should be safe to just play everything to the left of that, or to the right of that. And then if it comes down to it with this last hand, we still have these aces. So we might be able to play a pair of aces for some type of scoring, but this is still looking pretty good. I don't think we'll need to spit out the steel card. Yeah, we just finished the round. Okay, cool. One thing I was going to make note of there is we did just pick up the malt bonuses. And when you're using the steel cards or when you're using the Baron, it is nice to hit those like plus malt cards in the middle of the board, because then the Baron's going to activate on it. I'm not quite certain. Well, what would be really nice for us is if we get to... can we do this? Like the thing that... Or this. Will this get the kings to activate? Well, we've had it hanging out the direction I want. Anyways, I'm wanting to get the raised fist to activate before the Baron does. And I don't think we're able to do that. But if you're able to get that malts onto your active hand when the Baron starts to hit, like when we put the plus malt on the physical cards, just gives you a lot more scaling. So yeah, otherwise you're just scaling off of like the 2 malt from the chips, or from playing a pair. But all right, what do we have here? 12 malt if the hand contains a straight. Not super interested in. The green joker comes back. I definitely would have preferred the green joker to quite a while ago, right? As opposed to have ride the bus. I'm fine to pick it up here. It's exactly what we need. We want a flat malt kind of card. We're not playing discards anyways because of the ramen and the raised fist. This just fits exactly what we're trying to do here. Quite happy to pick that up. So here we can skip the blind for 20. On board with that. The 10 malt off of a holographic tag, is there anything that we would be wanting to replace? And it's going to be like a high roll to hit. I don't think we're going to chase that down. Like Splash could go, but I still like the Splash within this deck. It works nicely with Odd Todd. Works nicely with the raised fist. Just the style of play that we're making, I do like the Splash. And so I don't think I want to roll the dice on that holographic, and we'll just... see what we can do now that we've actually built up some money. Okay, so 2 pair. It's very easy. This is what we're going to do the rest of the run. We're just going to play the cards on the right side of our hand. Welcome to Balatro today. I got 6K out of that one. No scaling within the hand, though. But now we're up to the full 20 malt off of the raised fist. We'll have the 7 in here as well. Curious if we want to hang on to this 7 until we perhaps find a king. So we would be playing a high card instead of a pair, which is not particularly relevant. Yeah, let's save that 7 of clubs for, well, we do lose out on a lot of malt from the raised fist, though. All right, just the right 5 it is. I think we'll still get out of this one fine. Yeah, we just picked up a bunch of kings. It's definitely going to happen. I'm still a touch concerned with this. I am going to use the steel card on the ace in case you forgot about it. And then we'll get those three multipliers off of this hand. Hopefully that helps out a little bit. See, that sequencing is so weird. If you were watching what was happening with our kings, God, did we fucking lose this round? But where it went, the steel card popped, then the king popped, and then the raised fist popped, and then the last king hit. So that last king hit on the Baron was getting the full 20 from the raised fist, and so it gives us a lot more malt that way. I'm not certain how you're supposed to manage that otherwise. Maybe if we set our hand up like this, then the raised fist will activate, since it's going to, the lowest card in hand is going to be a king. So the raised fist will activate, it will hit the king, and then the steel ace will hit. That makes it very interesting with making these aces steal, if that's how it actually works, since we can kind of navigate the raised fist. And it does make us want to kind of, say, hang on to a jack, right? So if we can get the jack to activate the raised fist first, I'm going to play the jack here, but I think that's a interesting way to see this, right? We should get a lot more malt out of this one. Let's see. King, 20 malt, 1.5, then another 1.5. Okay, okay. So I think that's good to know, good to figure out now. As we're as we're on the brink of losing, it's good to get that big knowledge and for how some of these cards work. All right, so what do we got? Played face cards give 30 chips when scored. Wouldn't be opposed to it, but the odd Todd is locked in, and I don't want any more of that stuff. Otherwise, we just have celestial packs and then the paintbrush. I think we'll pick up the paintbrush here. It does let us work a little bit more towards that idea of holding on to more jacks and kings as we play through these hands. We finally got our money in order. Now here, what do we got? Play only one hand type this round. That's no problem at all. We can just play high card every single hand. So let's see. Ooh, are we gonna have to swap the pairs? That came in very awkwardly. It's like we can do something like this and play a 9 high, but then we only get 2 malts out of the raised fist, and I don't think our deck can really handle that. And so I'm going to do this. We'll hang on to the pair of 8s, get the pair of deuces out of here, and then continue the playthrough with that. The other thing to consider is we can discard stuff, right? The ramen just gets a little bit weaker if we start discarding to look for some kings or something, but I don't think it's quite a necessity. It weakens up the green joker as well. Oh, I gotta remember, we gotta move this ace to the right every time. We just missed out on a ton there. But here, we at least know how the kings with the ace work, right? We've got the pair. We want the queen to the left. This is what I was trying to explain a bit in the last hand. The queen is going to be our scoring card here, right? So the queen will activate the raised fist first, and then the king, and the ace of spades will get the bonuses scaling. There it goes. All right. So we do need to hit some more pairs and stuff, but that is going how we want. So we got to get the queen to the left. Okay. I think we're fine to get out of this one now. 21k, yeah, just needing 2k here at the end of the day, definitely looking good. This should be a big score here. Okay. Nice to figure these things out. It's not super intuitive until you get to mess with it, and kind of just with how the game's sequenced, you never know when this bullshit's gonna come up ever again. And so it's not like we're playing we're playing Runeterra or playing Magic or something to where we can just play the same deck 100 games in a row. Like, you know, who knows the next fucking time I'm gonna see this weird ass combo with the Baron and raise the fist and getting the combos like this. It's not super intuitive if you haven't messed with it before. All right, so here, not really interested in these jokers. Our jokers are looking pretty good. Always happy to pick up clearance sale. This is easily going to pay itself off. So we can snatch that one up. Take the Arcana pack here as well. So what do we got? Towers are fantastic in this style of deck. Creating planet cards I'm not excited about. It is kind of interesting with strength. Just even say converting these 2s into 3s, because then the 3s score so much harder with the odd Todd. And so maybe we look to say turn a queen into a king, so that activates the Baron, and then just turn one of these 2s into a 3. I think I'm on board with this. Right? increase the rank of 2 selected cards by 1. Gotta make sure gotta make sure I'm using the right fucking tarot card. Okay. Not a bad upgrade. So what do we got here? Malt. You do get a ton of money off the old handy tag. Love catching a nice handy. That seems fine. And then the ox. Playing a pair sets money to 0. I'm not too worried about that. We can just navigate through that with high cards. So I'm going to do battle here, skip for the money, and then we'll play that final boss. This steel 3 is really awkward now, though. We just have to play through it. If we didn't have the splash, or I'm sorry, if we didn't have the raised fist, it wouldn't be nearly as bad, but that was definitely not an ideal place to have the steel land. Here come the kings, and so we at least know how to work this now, right? So we'll be putting the jack to the left of the kings, since that's going to score off the raised fist. Okay. Load it up. So what do we got now? We can drop all of this. That's no problem. We just need to move the queen over now. The 3-of-a-kind jacks. And then the green joker's leveling itself up the whole way. It's very, very nice as well. The queen over. Okay. Definitely going to have to watch ourselves on this boss. Like, I'll say it now, and I know I'm going to forget about it, but very good chance I accidentally just throw away all of our money. It's it's bound to happen. It is definitely bound to happen. Alright, so what do we got? Scholar, not interested in. Faceless Joker, not interested in. Take this Arcana pack. God, they're so expensive now. It's just going to go up, though. Alright, we'll take it. Still gives us good value if we find the Hermit. I like some of these upgrades that we were getting there as well. Making more kings, getting some evens out of our deck. And so that sounds good. Strength from the Fool, I'm not opposed to. Tarot cards don't want. There is just another strength, but I would prefer to maybe upgrade a king if we can. And I do like taking the strength into the next combat. So let's just add it to our hand and then move on. So skip the blind, get all that money. And then the ox, playing a pair, sets our money to 0. And so nothing spectacular here to strength. I mean, we could kick one off early, but it just doesn't seem super worthwhile to me. So I'm actually going to play it out like this with the 3-of-a-kind 7s. There's only one difference in malt between what the fist is going to hit. So I think that'll be okay. I want to put the 6 to the left of the king, though. Alright, 16k. Not the greatest of starts, but our hand hasn't really ramped itself up yet either. Comes this sweet pair of 9s, or single 9, high card 9. Hopefully we catch this up here a little bit. I thought our hand was scoring a little bit harder there than it may have been actually. Alright, that one's up to 21k. Things can continue to improve a little bit, hopefully. So I think we'll do it like this. We'll just play the pair of aces. So we get to maintain that full level up. Like, I don't want to play the pair of jacks and then have the king not catch the full bonus from the raised fist. So I think we'll take it this way. Also gives us a. I was gonna say, I guess we can just look to play like 4 of a kind aces next hand, but that's definitely not gonna be. That's not gonna be enough of a score. Oh, there goes all of our money as well. I knew I was gonna do it. I knew I was gonna do it. It feels like it's. Oh no! Oh god damn it! And we missed the. we missed the level up on. Oh, what a just fucking disaster! we didn't get the full malt out of the raised fist either. All right, well we've got a pair of 2s now, I guess. What's it matter? We already lost all of our money. God damn it. We fell short anyways, and so that's tough. I'm not quite well. I know where a few things went wrong with that run. Right, we definitely had some issues with the jokers. Like what feels to me like the biggest problem with this run as we assembled it was 2 things. We got a little bit kind of locked into that ride the bus. Right, we had that first green joker turn up. And we should have just taken it. I don't remember if at that point we still had a spare joker slot. Right, it took me a while to realize that the king's joker was actually a negative joker and we were just running around with 1 extra slot. But picking it up at that point would have given us an extra maybe like flat 10 malt throughout the course of the game and been pretty strong there. And we did mess up some of our build along the way. Like with that steel 3 that we had, that would have been much more effective somewhere else. And it just took us a little bit too long to get the kind of final definitive direction on where our deck was going to go. But it is a nice run. It was a nice learning experience in terms of a lot of these cards. I did like this build with the odd Todd, the all of your cards score, and the raised fist. I guess the thing that I actually preferred out of that was the all cards score with the raised fist. That is a fairly nice combo, since your raised fist does want you to get the smallest cards out of your hand, but they typically just don't score for anything. And so it's like, okay, well, I'll play an ace and then I'll play 4 small cards that don't do anything. But then getting the odd Todd tied in with that was a nice way to get some additional scoring out of it that I haven't seen before. And so that was nice there. Was also nice kind of figuring out this interaction between the raised fist and then the steel cards and then the King's Joker that was passing out all of the bonuses there. And so definitely some good learning, some good combos that we got to assemble along the way. Getting a little bit more vision for how nicely these things can work together. That'll certainly pay dividends in the future. Still, in terms of this run itself, it felt like it was going fine. I'm not quite certain on what this deck was lacking. If it needed to have some more upgrades within the deck itself to like open more Arcana packs to put bonus card down or malt cards down, or if it was just hurting because we didn't have enough chip generation, which didn't seem like the case, or if it was just hurting because we only had the 1 X multiplier card in the ramen that doesn't scale nearly as hard as an X2 or an X3 would. I'm not quite certain what this deck was lacking in that sense. It's another one that felt like, it was borderline strong enough, but it just fell a little bit short. And then even if we had navigated that final hand a little bit better, it still wouldn't have scored enough to finish on this ante. And so it's tough for me to really decide what was the big glaring error in this deck outside of that 1 miss on the green joker. And if that's what it really comes down to being able to defeat the orange round and defeat the gold stake, it's going to be certainly a tall order to try and fight through these things. It's definitely going to be very seed dependent on getting the finish there. If our big mistake, if the 2 mistakes this run that we made were missing the green joker early and putting the steel card on the wrong card, right? It's going to be very tough to finish off these stakes. And so I think it'll definitely be interesting if we look back at this one a week or 2 from now, once we've had time to get a little bit more experience, to see there were a lot of glaring errors in this one, or if it's just the kind of nature of the beast. But nonetheless, good stuff. I had fun with that. I hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. So hope everyone enjoyed the video. Hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way. You had a good time watching. This is Bustin. We thank you for being here.